Follow your energy first. At the point when I resigned from the game, I said they're posing sort of the multitude of wrong inquiries. It was the greatest business I can get into, and it's all some unacceptable stuff. You have to stay there and ask yourself, alright, what am I really enthusiastic about? What do I appreciate doing? Furthermore, when you feel as such genuinely, I mean you feel like you have never worked a day in your life, it's the best time thing on the planet. You get up in the first part of the day amped up for what you're doing, and you became truly legitimate with yourself about it, assuming you get up in the first part of the day and you're fearing going to work. Man, accomplish something different, and those are hard choices to settle on, yet when you go with those decisions, it's a very freeing experience, and you'll figure out that the prizes will come. I figure the most effective way to demonstrate their worth is to work, is to learn, is to ingest. To be a wipe, you generally need to outperform your true capacity. As hard as you accept you can work harder than that. Furthermore, that is the very thing I attempt to do when I previously came and read. However, no ball such a direct rivalries for let me come in at 17. My partners would agree that I hit with an elbow shack with it. You would elbow by and by. You know, enormous agitator will come up and say, would you say you are alright? Wow. Damnation's the matter with you. Realize that. So like I generally had that additional load of emotional baggage. So like consistently in practice for me was sincerely attempting to destroy everyone that was that I was playing against. I needed to demonstrate you don't have to keep an eye on. I'm fine, you know, and as it's consistently that serious nature, the hard-working attitude and interest, since I posed a ton of inquiries and playing with stables. God, I posed him a ton of inquiries. Eddie Jones, who was perfect at pursuing vehicles off the screens, and I failed to really see how to do that. I was sitting with him before many practices. Wizardry every one of the later grades. I would continuously plunk down as his posing inquiries about specific games that I concentrated on growing up. What really occurred? What did you feel that espouse? We were playing against the Lakers, however, and we're around here in LA, so the game was at 7. Guess what? I will come to the Staples place 'cause we planned this. Mean the Lakers had Kobe and Shaq, alright? This resembles the title. Lakers said I will arrive at 3 o'clock. I need to ensure I'd make 400 primary shots before I return into the room, and afterward I sit in this on and I prepare for it. So, you know, get in the vehicle, get to the rec center, arrive, and as I'm strolling onto the court, who do I see? Some Kobe Bryant, previously working out. So when I set my foot across that line, I began working out, and so I turned out for a decent hour, 90 minutes, and when I fell off, after I was done, I plunked down, and obviously, I actually heard the ball skipping. I seem to be this it's folks actually working. He was figuring out, like it seems as though he was in a dead perspiration when I arrived. He's actually going. And it's not like his moves are casual. I'm apathetic. He's doing like game moves, you know. I stay there and I release my shoes. Am I going to find out how long this turns out? Their watch? 25 minutes, and they finished. It's okay. I think I've seen sufficient. Go play, you know. Return, prepare in a sauna, get for the game. That game he drops 40 on us. Okay, and after the game is finished, I'm like, ISIS fellow, I need to figure out like why he works like that. So after games, I'm like, hello Cold, like why, for what reason would you say you were in an exercise center for such a long time? He resembles, as I saw you come in, and I don't maintain that you should be aware that it doesn't make any difference how hard you work, that I'm willing to work harder than you. Assuming your responsibility is to attempt to be the best b-ball player you can be, alright to do that. You need to rehearse, you need to prepare. You need to prepare however much you can, as frequently as possible. So assuming you get up at 10 o'clock in the first part of the day, train at 11 o'clock. 12 o'clock, say 12 o'clock, train at 12 o'clock, train for 2 hours, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. You need to allow your body to recuperate. So you really want to recuperate. Get back out your train, begin preparing again at 6 o'clock, train from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Furthermore, presently return home, shower, you have supper, you hit the sack, you awaken, rehash it, isn't that so? Those are 2 meetings at this moment. Envision you awaken at 3 o'clock, train at 4:46, return home, breakfast, unwind, so. Presently you're once again at it once more, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Unwind, and presently it's finished. You're once again at it again to the front and have your once again at it once more. 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Look the amount seriously preparing I have done by basically beginning at 4 o'clock. Right. So presently you do that, and as the years continue, the partition that you have with through contenders and your companions simply becomes increasingly large and bigger. By year 5 or 6 doesn't make any difference what sort of work they're doing a late spring. They're never going to make up for lost time since they're 5 years behind. So it's a good idea to get up and begin your day early on the grounds that you can get more work. I start prior, I can prepare more hours. Furthermore, I realize different folks aren't doing it since I understand what their preparation plan is. So I know whether I do this reliably over the long run, this the holes. It will cry, whimper, cry that they will not have the option to get that back. In this way, it's me. It was simply considered normal sense. I'm like reasoning, how might I get a benefit starter? Better believe it. How about we do that? How would you foster that, or what could you discover that from? Or on the other hand, I believe it's simply a question of what means quite a bit to you. It means quite a bit to you forward for reasons unknown. You know, I felt like I didn't feel quite a bit better about myself on the off chance that I wasn't doing all that I could to be my best self. Assuming I felt like I overlooked anything, it would even way I will not have the option to look myself in the mirror. So the justification for why I can resign down, be totally agreeable about it, since I realize that I've done everything I could to be the best b-ball player I could be. This has been totally lovely. You got can't accept has reached a conclusion. You all will constantly be in my heart, and what might I at any point say, my beau?